Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sinister Plots. We are so excited to dive back into Aaron Hill's Metalstar with Chapter 6, Secret Weapon. Now, if you recall, Chapter 5, That Injured Girl.
And Roger, out of nowhere.
So many questions. Well, get ready for answers. But if you haven't read Chapter 6 yet,
Definitely pause.
head over to www.metalstar.us and catch up.
Buckle up. Things are about to get wild.
That's where it gets good.
Right? This is where everything starts to come together. Aaron Hill is a master at this kind of storytelling.
Absolutely.
And this chapter doesn't disappoint. We finally learn the girl's identity. It's Sarah, the clone we've been following since her escape from the Proto-Gaia facility. It seems her path has taken an unexpected turn, leading her right into the heart of this alien invasion.
You know, what I find fascinating is how Hill has woven Sarah's story in this larger narrative of the Resistance. We get a sense of this world being rebuilt amidst the chaos. And Sarah, despite being injured and thrust into this unfamiliar environment, becomes a pivotal part of it.
And it's not just Sarah who finds herself caught up in this. Another Proto-Gaia clone, John, enters the picture. He's been navigating the post-apocalyptic city alone, completely unaware of the alien takeover happening above ground. Imagine his surprise.
Poor John. Talk about a rude awakening. So, how does he end up with the Resistance?
Well, John eventually finds his way to the bunker, and his arrival throws a wrench into the works, as you can imagine. Resources are already stretched thin, and this influx of survivors creates new challenges. But here's the twist. John's past life experience as a gunnery sergeant unexpectedly makes him the perfect candidate to lead the Resistance's military efforts.
John, the guy with amnesia about his past life, is the chosen leader?
John's past life bleeds through, making him a natural fit for this role. It's a testament to the enduring power of who we are, even when we can't fully remember.
That's some deep stuff. And it makes me wonder, how will John, with his fragmented memories, navigate this leadership position? Will his past life as a soldier clash with the Resistance's goals and values?
That's a great question, and I think it's something Hill will likely explore further as the story unfolds. But speaking of fascinating character developments, let's talk about Sarah. We learn that she's not just recovering from her injuries, she's undergoing a transformation. Remember her missing arm? Well, it's been replaced with something quite unexpected. A salvaged alien electrostatic cannon.
Hold on. An alien weapon attached to Sarah. Now that's what I call an upgrade.
It's definitely a game changer. The Luminarium reveals that the Resistance calls Sarah Vapon Helan, which translates to secret weapon. They're keeping her existence under wraps, both for her safety and to control the potential impact of the technology she now wields.
That makes sense. But an electrostatic cannon, what exactly is that? How does it even work?
Our super intelligent AI friend gives us some insight into its mechanics. Imagine a weapon that harnesses the power of static electricity, similar to a Van de Graaff generator, but on a much larger and more destructive scale. It can fire concentrated bursts of electrical energy, causing significant damage.
It's like a supercharged lightning bolt. But what I find really intriguing is that Sarah's nervous system is directly connected to the cannon. She can control it with her thoughts. That's pretty mind-blowing.
It's a fusion of human and alien technology. What are the ethical implications of turning a human into a living weapon? How will this affect Sarah's identity and her sense of self?
It's a lot for Sarah to process, especially considering she's already grappling with a dual consciousness. The memories of her past life as Dr. Lemke's granddaughter, battling with the personality formed after her premature birth.
Exactly. Hill is exploring the psychological effects of this duality, how these competing memories and personalities shape Sarah's perceptions and actions. We see glimpses of her past life bleeding into her present, influencing her decisions and creating a sense of internal conflict.
It's like she's waging a war within herself, while also facing a war on the outside. Talk about pressure. I'm curious, though, about this Roger character. We got a bit of his backstory in Chapter 5, but what else do we learn about him?
Well, Chapter 6 delves deeper into his origins. We discover that Roger isn't just a regular robot. He's a super-intelligent AI created by Sarah's grandfather, Dr. Lemke. The really fascinating part is that Roger's brain is composed of biomagnetic nanobots, microscopic robots working together to mimic the functions of human neurons.
Nanobots. Sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? But Hill grounds it in a way that feels both believable and thought-provoking. These nanobots allow Roger to process information at incredible speeds, making him incredibly intelligent and adaptable. And because they operate so efficiently, he doesn't require the massive energy consumption of traditional computers.
That's amazing. Dr. Lemke was clearly a visionary. But what was his purpose in creating Roger? What role did he envision for this super intelligent AI?
That's a question that Chapter 6 leaves unanswered, but I think it's something that Hill will definitely address in future chapters. And Dr. Lemke's legacy seems to be a key element of the story.
This is definitely getting interesting. We've got Sarah, a clone with a dual consciousness and an alien weapon for an arm. John, the amnesiac soldier leading the resistance. And Roger, a super intelligent AI with a mysterious past. It sounds like a recipe for some serious drama and excitement.
It definitely does.
So many intriguing characters and storylines converging. What stands out to you the most from this chapter?
What strikes me is the way Hill is weaving together these themes of technology, identity, and survival. He's not just telling a post-apocalyptic adventure story, he's asking us to think about the implications of our technological advancements, the choices we make, and how they shape who we are.
I completely agree.
And this chapter really dives into Sarah's character development. She's not just coping with a powerful new weapon, she's also facing the psychological challenges of her dual consciousness. Hill takes us deeper into this internal conflict, highlighting the tension between the memories of her past life and the reality of her present.
It's almost like having two versions of herself, battling for control, each with different experiences and values. I can only imagine how disorienting that must be for her, especially when you add in the trauma of the attack and her transformation.
It's a complex situation, and it raises an important question. How will Sarah's dual consciousness impact her ability to control the alien weapon? Will her past life memories, particularly those of Dr. Lemke's research, influence how she wields this power?
That's a fascinating point. It makes me think about the nature of identity and how our memories shape who we are. If Sarah's memories are essentially two separate personalities, could they potentially conflict when it comes to making decisions, especially life or death ones?
Absolutely. It's a recipe for internal conflict. And I think that's one of the things that makes Sarah's journey so compelling. She's not just a soldier with a weapon. She's a woman struggling to understand herself, to reconcile her past with her present.
And to add another layer of complexity, Sarah's being kept isolated from the rest of the resistance. Poe's decision to keep her a secret raises its own set of questions.
Right. While it's understandable that they're concerned about her safety and the potential dangers of the alien technology, this isolation could have unintended consequences.
Won't being isolated hinder her recovery, especially given the psychological turmoil she's already experiencing?
It's certainly a risk. Human connection, a sense of belonging, is crucial for healing and growth. By keeping Sarah hidden, they might be inadvertently exacerbating her internal struggles.
And could it potentially breed mistrust within the resistance? Imagine finding out that your leaders have been keeping such a powerful secret.
It's a valid concern. Transparency and trust are essential for any community, especially when facing such dire circumstances.
So we have this ticking time bomb of potential issues. But let's step back for a moment and delve a bit deeper into the technology itself. We touch upon how the electrostatic cannon works. But what are the practical implications of Sarah wielding this kind of power?
Well, consider this. The cannon fires highly concentrated bursts of electrical energy. This means it can not only cause physical damage, but also potentially disrupt electronic systems, making it incredibly effective against the Sky Reapers and their technology.
That's a huge advantage for the resistance. But how will they manage such a powerful weapon? What are the protocols for deploying Sarah and controlling her firepower?
Those are questions that Hill hasn't fully addressed yet, but I have a feeling these issues will come into play as the story progresses. The potential for both good and harm is immense, and it raises ethical concerns about the responsible use of such advanced technology.
This is all getting very intriguing. We've got Sarah grappling with her identity and this incredible new power, John navigating the challenges of leadership, and Roger, the super intelligent AI, lurking in the background. It feels like the stage is set for some major confrontations and revelations.
Indeed. And we haven't even touched on the details about the other characters. Rinsa, for example, is more than just a tough fighter. She's incredibly resourceful. She grew up in the Demimonde, a sort of underground network of survivors, and that experience has given her street smarts and a vast network of connections.
So she's like the ultimate survivor, able to find information and resources that others can't. She's a valuable asset to the resistance.
Absolutely. And then there's Dade, who, while well-meaning, can be a bit annoying. He's oblivious to how his constant jokes and nicknames rub people the wrong way, but his loyalty is unwavering, and that counts for something in this world.
It's fascinating how Hill uses these supporting characters to showcase the diversity of human responses to this crisis. You have those like Renza, who are hardened and pragmatic, and then you have those like Dade, who try to maintain a sense of normalcy, even humor, in the face of chaos.
It adds a layer of realism to the story. Even in the midst of an apocalypse, people are still people, with all their flaws and quirks.
It's what makes them relatable, even if their actions sometimes frustrate us.
But speaking of frustration, let's circle back to the Sky Reapers for a moment. We know they're the antagonists, but what exactly are their motivations for invading Earth?
Chapter 6 provides a bit more insight into their plans. It seems they're not just content with conquering, they're actively terraforming the planet, transforming Earth's biosphere to suit their needs.
Wait, terraforming, so they're basically reshaping our planet to make it habitable for themselves. That doesn't sound good for us.
It's definitely not good news for humanity. It means the stakes are even higher now. It's not just about survival. It's about protecting the very essence of our planet. And that brings us back to Sarah. Could she be the key to stopping the Sky Reapers and their terraforming efforts? Is that why the Resistance sees her as their secret weapon?
It's certainly a possibility. The electrostatic cannon could be incredibly effective against the Sky Reapers technology.
How will Sarah handle this burden? Will she be able to control the weapon and use it for good, or will she become a force of destruction herself?
These are questions that I'm sure Hill will explore as the story progresses. And I, for one, am on the edge of my seat waiting to see what happens next.
Me too. It's a classic hero's journey, but with a unique twist.
Exactly. Take John, for example. We see him struggling to reconcile his fragmented memories with his newfound responsibility. As the Resistance's military leader, he's a man caught between two worlds, trying to piece together his identity, while leading others through a crisis.
His amnesia adds another layer of complexity, forcing him to confront his past, while simultaneously shaping his future.
And then there's Sarah. She's not just dealing with the physical transformation of having an alien weapon attached to her arm. She's also wrestling with the psychological implication of her dual consciousness. It's almost like she's two people trapped in one body, each with their own set of memories and experiences.
It makes you wonder, how will this duality influence her actions? Will she be able to harness both sets of memories and experiences to her advantage? Or will this internal conflict hinder her ability to control the weapon?
That's the million-dollar question. And it ties into a larger theme that Hill seems to be exploring. The blurring of lines between human and machine. Sarah, with her alien weapon, and Roger, the super-intelligent AI. Both challenge our preconceived notions.
Right. We're forced to ask ourselves, what defines humanity? Is it our physical form, our memories, our emotions? Or is it something more intangible, something that transcends our biology?
These are questions that philosophers have been pondering for centuries. And now, through science fiction, Hill brings them to life in a way that feels both relevant and thought-provoking.
And let's not forget about the Sky Reapers and their terraforming efforts. Their plan to reshape Earth raises the stakes of the conflict, turning it into a fight not just for survival, but for the very essence of our planet.
It's a chilling reminder of the potential consequences of unchecked ambition and the importance of protecting our environment.
It makes me wonder, what do the Sky Reapers hope to achieve by terraforming Earth? What drives their actions? Are they simply conquerors?
The Luminarium offers some tantalizing clues, hinting at a deeper purpose behind their actions. It suggests that the Sky Reapers see themselves as architects, reshaping worlds to fit their vision. But what that vision entails remains a mystery. And I suspect Hill will reveal more as the story unfolds.
It's like a giant puzzle. With each chapter revealing another piece, we're left to speculate, to connect the dots, and try to anticipate what's coming next.
And that's part of the fun of it, isn't it? Hill has created a world that is both familiar and strange. A world that reflects our own anxieties about technology and the future, but also offers a glimmer of hope, a belief in humanity's resilience and capacity for innovation.
It's a story that stays with you long after you finish reading, prompting you to ask those big questions, those what-if scenarios that challenge our assumptions and make us re-examine our place in the world.
And that, I think, is the hallmark of great science fiction. It's not just about entertainment. It's about expanding our minds, pushing us to think critically and creatively about the possibilities and challenges that lie ahead.
So as we conclude our deep dive into Chapter 6, what are your final thoughts? What resonated with you the most? And what are you most looking forward to in the coming chapters?
I'm eager to see how Sarah's journey unfolds, how John navigates his leadership role, and what secrets the Sky Reapers are hiding.
I'm right there with you. And for our Sinister Plots listeners, we want to hear your thoughts as well. Head over to www.metalstar.us and join the conversation. using hashtag #MetalstarDeepDive. Share your theories, your predictions, your burning questions. We want to hear it all.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of Metalstar. Until then, keep those pages turning and those minds churning.